And basically what that that is saying that another family from an opposite ethnicity adopted you. Whether if it is a international adoption, whether if it's a Caucasian family, or a African American and a Indian family, a Ethiopian family, a family basically from another ethnicity decided to adopt a child. And so, as I said, I was adopted as an infant. Um, what else? I actually I reunited with my biological family. I had a PowerPoint. It was like a big, beautiful picture, but I think that actually is not even important right now because this is more personable. And I don't want you guys kind of looking at the screen and like, it could be so super duper boring, like looking at a screen, but you see my face and that's all that matters. And so it's basically pictures of my family. In the pictures, you have a family when I first reunited with my biological family in Cuba. I took the same grandmother that I was taken away from, my biological grandmother. I ended up 30 something years, more than 30 something years later, reconnecting with her and taking her back to the country that her and my biological mother had came from, which is Cuba. And so, of course, they wanted a new life, the whole thing with wanting to have a better life for their family and everything. Well, things didn't work out like that, of course, which then led me up to being adopted. According to my birth records, I literally have all of my original birth records. When I turned 18 years old, I decided to do that research, get all my records, get everything, because I wanted to know who Ereka was. And being in a family of an opposite ethnicity, I consider myself African American. But as you all know, you can see the long hair, the light skin complexion. So there's something of a Caucasian ethnicity associated with it. But I didn't feel like I fit. You know, a lot of us adoptees, when we're growing up in families like that, we feel like we can't fit. We don't fit. And so, like I said, I decided to then go out and do some research and stumble across some records from the prison system from my mother when she was incarcerated, biological mother, and found out that she had already been dead. And so that was like traumatic. I remember, Marcy, whenever we were talking about one of the groups that we had got on a couple of months ago, how grief feels. Grief is definitely something real. And I was not expecting that, to come across something like that and come to find out your mother had already been deceased. So that was something in itself. I didn't know what to do. I did not know what to do. But I grieved. I grieved. And at that time I was 18 whenever I had came across that. And then I promise you guys, I could be a professional investigator. I will help you find. I'm so serious. I didn't know how talented I was until I was so adamant of trying to find my family. But then when I found out that, I was like, I'm done. I quit. I'm done. I just don't want to do it anymore. So that's a little bit. That's a little bit about me. There's a lot more to the story, but that's the basis of my story. And of course, when I was adopted, I had went through a lot of trials and tribulations. I had that adolescent mindset where I'm going to act out, I'm going to steal things, I'm going to lash out at people who love me. I don't trust people because I've been mistrusted. People have misled me. And so, yeah. And I brought my calm down bottle, guys. Look.
Yeah, you have to tell the story about the calm bottle.
So, okay. Can you see it? Okay. So what it is the calm down bottle. In a calm down bottle, it signifies calming down, exactly what it is called. And this is just water and a little bit of oil and like some glitter in there. And so as you can see, it is so super duper like calming. And this is a good like coping skill for when you have those those times of like discomfort, if you're feeling down or out, or you're feeling stressed out, anxious about something, you just shake it up, and then like it just calms down, and it's just water and glitter. Like, so amazing. And I got this bottle from Walmart. So
Yeah, I remember when we first started doing these calls that you came on with your water bottle, and we were all teasing you about that. So share a little bit about your career and what you're doing. I know you're studying for your PhD and you've got your master's and you've got a lot of things going on. So you want to
yeah,
share that with us?
yeah. So in my career, I first started working with adolescent youth, and I was in a treatment facility. And that was about 20 something years ago, when that actually, almost 20 something years ago, I'd say about 15 to 20 years ago. And I just developed like a passion for it. And I decided, hey, this is where I belong. And I like working with at-risk youth, at risk. I don't like that word, saying at risk, but now I graduated with my bachelor's in kinesiology, which is also considered like exercise sports science. And then I decided I was going to go and get my master's. So, but after being rejected from like 3 universities, like I was like, I'm not going to give up. And then I just happened to be driving to my biological grandmother's home, from Austin to Dallas, Austin, Texas, and then to Dallas, Texas. And I saw a little school up on the hill, said University of North Texas at Dallas. And I said, I wonder. So I got accepted into the program. Long and behold, I didn't live in Dallas. I lived 3 hours away. And so I said, I just got released, another word to say for no job, they fired you, from a job that I learned a lot. I learned a lot, but I got fired from that job and was unemployed. I still had an apartment, but they accepted me. They accepted me into that school that I just happened to be passing along, and went to the campus and went to the admissions, got some information about the school, took it back to Austin, Texas, and I applied, and they accepted me as a post-baccalaureate degree. So I said, okay, what do I have to lose? So I put in my week's notice, not week's notice, but like maybe 30-day notice at my apartments, and I moved to Dallas. No job, no nothing. I just decided, let me just move. I'm trusting, it's a faith walk, literally. And so I got here, and then I started doing my post-baccalaureate in mediation, took some courses as a post-baccalaureate. And then the next semester, I applied for the master's in counseling, clinical mental health counseling, and got accepted. And then graduated with my master's in counseling. And then after I graduated with my master's in counseling, I decided to get licensed as it's over here in Texas. It might be different in other states, Marcy, but it's called a licensed LCDC, a licensed chemical dependency counselor intern. It might be another way of saying CI. But I got that license, and I'm working towards my LPC, which is like the overall licensing exam to actually practice as a clinician. And then right now I'm going to school for my PhD in counselor education and supervision. Ooh, that's like a pretty intense name, but but with the dissertation in the traumatic effects of adult adoptees. And so, because I think that's really something that is kind of not really touched bases upon, the adoption, and you get adopted and they think, oh, you're adopted, so let's forget about you. No. Especially within Adoptees Connect, my community, my AC community on here. If you're here, say hello. Put something in the chat box. Whether if you're I know Connecticut shared it, Pam shared it, a couple of other people had shared it, but I am actually one of the group facilitators for the Adoptees Connect Dallas, Fort Worth. Marcy, you said Fort Worth, Dallas area. And so that's what I'm actually going to start calling. It's going to be like our inside joke. the Fort Worth Dallas connection of Adoptees Connect. And so, but I am the facilitator for this region. And then I also get people from Houston, which is about 3.5 hours away from Dallas. I get people from San Antonio, people from all over, not just in Dallas, Fort Worth, because there's not in Texas. I consider that to be, my hub, so, I guess you can say that I'm responsible for the state of Texas, but it's characterized as Adoptees Connect Dallas. And so that's something else that I do. What else?
You know what, for the benefit of those, because I know we have some new faces this evening, you might want to give a little bit more of an explanation on Adoptees Connect.
Okay.
That started with Pamela Caranova in Kentucky, right? Now you have all these facilitators.
If you are from Adoptees Connect, well, first off, let me just recognize my Adoptees Connect community, because when I first stumbled across this community, I did not know that it even existed. And so when I found out, I'm trying to actually go back to the viewer mode. You saw my finger? I didn't know, but Adoptees Connect is basically a national community for those who are adopted, specifically for adult adoptees. And what it does is it provides group facilitation modules. And the actual website is adopteesconnect.org. And Pam, I cannot say her last name, so I'm not going to butcher it. Her name is Pamela. She's the awesomest person in the world. Yeah. She's awesome. Pam, she's awesome. She asked me to take up on the responsibility of Adoptees Connect. I say Texas. I'm gonna actually ask her if I can actually become a part of the Texas triad, other than Dallas Fort Worth, now that we have Zoom. But it is a phenomenal organization. Phenomenal. I mean,
they've been very supportive of when we were formerly Indiana Adoptee Network. They've all been very supportive.
Yeah. It's my heart. I love my AC community in the house. Boom. So, but yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. And then I have a speaking business on the side. I'm wanting to actually develop a mentorship program for those that are adopted, preferably adolescents, and then try to initiate those things. But with Adoptees Connect, we actually have monthly meetings now. Since we're in COVID-ish area, we do Zoom meetings, and so we just provide those different monthly contacts, check-ins. I get emails, I get text messages. They have my phone number, and just check-ins, and they're from ages all the way from 18 until 70 years old. And it's, hi Ereka, this is Gary, I am on the call. Hi Gary. Oh, Gary, sorry. Yeah, so my AC community. Hello. That's my brother. That is my brother. Yay.
Yeah, and Ereka she did mention that everybody, if you have a question, just feel free to raise your virtual hand and just jump in so we can have a little bit more engagement. Just feel any kind of question you have, or type it out in the chat bar if you're too shy to speak up.
Yes, type it. I will answer your question. I promise I will answer your question. So yeah, and if you don't have any questions, then I will make an answer for a question. But I honestly, I just, being adopted, I didn't really accept it as when I was younger. I didn't like it. I didn't like being said that I was an orphan. And now that I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, I love it. And every time I get in contact with an adoptee, I'm saying, oh my, I get so excited. I get so excited because it is such a amazing thing to be able to say, okay, I'm adopted, but I hated it. So if you have ever disliked being adopted, how many adoptees do we have on this call? Raise your hand. I'm actually going to see the gallery view so I can see. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I see fingers going like this. 8, 9, 10, thumbs up, 11, 12, 13, clapping, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my gosh, you see, yeah. So this community is huge. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And you know, it's we don't really, us adoptees, like, we don't really get the recognition that we need to. And you know, you hear adoption and foster care, you think it gets you down. You know, you talk about the abuse and neglect that you went through, and it can be very depressing. It can be very depressing, especially when you're trying to find your family. Paquita TY. I see a hand. I always see a yellow hand like this. So yes. So it's a lot of, and if you raise your hand if you are a foster parent, or if you are an adopted parent. I guess that's the right terminology. If you have ever adopted a family, a child, just one. Okay, so the majority of us on here are adoptees, and you know, we come from all walks of life. And I think it's just one of those things where, you know, we have to really appreciate where we come from. And raise your hand if you have ever experienced trauma. That is a lot of people. Raise your hand if you still deal with the trauma. Raise your hand if your trauma happened when you were adopted. Yeah. Yeah, it's real. My point exactly. Yeah. Yep. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, I get teary-eyed, but you know, people think that just because you got adopted, that you don't get these traumatic experiences even after. You know, it is a real thing, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it's just something that happens even after adoption. And whether if it's your adopted family abusing you, whether if it's your family and friends, your teachers, everybody that, you know, were supposed to care for you were actually the person that hurt you. And so it is a real thing. Raise your hand if you have ever reunited with your biological family. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Keith gave me a thumbs up. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 or more people have actually reunited with their family. And I just remember what it felt like to reunite with my family and to have that closure that I needed with my family. And so it was something that I wanted more out of. If you can relate, I have tried to, my adopted children have reunited. Carol says my adopted children have reunited. I didn't really, when I first reunited with them, I was worried about my adopted family being hurt. And I thought, well, I don't want them to feel like I neglected them. Number one, I didn't want to be disowned. And so I finally had to accept the fact that it's not about them, but it's about me. It's about the closure that I wanted. And so I did my search, and it was just something that I did for me, and I didn't feel bad about it. But I wish my son was here. I don't feel so. Marcy, what I'm going to do is I guess, I don't know how you want to do the question and answers.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dawn's starting with questions right now. Dawn Rhodes, do you want to take yourself off speaker and ask your question, Dawn?
Yeah, I had a question. After you reunited with your birth family, do you still stay in contact with them and have a long-lasting relationship with them moving forward, or did it kind of die down, or is it kind of sporadic? Because, like, with myself, I've been in contact with them, thank goodness, after all these years, but I haven't reunited, and it all has to do with this pandemic that's going on and everything. So that was my question to Ereka.
Yeah. Well, Dawn, yes, I still stay in contact with them. I'm actually connected with them a lot more so through Facebook. And thank goodness that Cuba has allowed me to do that because of the different laws that are associated with a communist country such as Cuba. But I still stay in contact with them. I check in on my grandmother, biological grandmother. As I said, like, my biological mother is deceased. I have not reunited with my father's side of the family. I don't know how, I don't know when, because I have no name, and I'm okay with that. But I still stay in contact with them. I do. They'll contact me on Facebook. If you're following me on Facebook, you'll see a lot of families, a lot of my friends on Facebook or Instagram, writing in Spanish. That's my family from Cuba. Yeah, I do. To answer your question, I do. And I make sure that I do. Yeah. Have you?
No, I've been after the new law came out a few years ago, I got my birth certificate for the first time, and long story short, I got to talk with my biological cousin for the first time. He called me because one of the advocates on the Indiana Adoption Network put me in contact with him and everything, and it's just been like really slow going. And my birth mother is like 88 and stuff, and it's all because of this pandemic. I would have had a chance to meet them like March of last year, but that's when the pandemic hit and everything. So it's just been really slow going. And I've been kind of debating if I wanted to do a like a FaceTime with my birth mother, or just because I've always had this idea of wanting to have that special moment, like face to face, up close, all that, kind of like what but it's like after all these years, the one thing is, like, I kind of thought that she might have passed away or something because of her age, because she had me so late and stuff. And so it's like now it's been a little over 2 years since
Yeah.
I first got my original birth certificate. Like, it was like literally right before Christmas in December of 2018. So it's been really slow going and everything. But I got to talk to my biological brother. We have a really good relationship. My biological cousin and my biological niece and everything. And I came from a big family. I have 6 older siblings, and I was the 7th, and so I was put up for adoption and stuff. So, but yeah, my search was.
It's hard.
I don't want to take
hard.
up everybody's time or anything like that, but
Yeah. No. It's okay.
So yeah, I just want to meet them so bad.
Yeah.
Because not just because my adopted family's all deceased, and except for my one older brother and everything. It's just I've been wanting this like since I
forever.
was a baby. Yep.
Mhm.
And stuff. So yeah, so I'll keep it there. So I don't
Yeah,
want to take up anybody else's time in case they had
no,
questions or
hey,
anything. But
it's okay. Don't apologize for something that you want. I think a lot of us adoptees, we apologize for things that we did not do. And so it's okay. And the pandemic is something that has affected a lot of us in
yeah,
so many ways, whether if it's been our families, our friends. My biological grandmother, she caught COVID. Can you imagine how traumatic that was for me? So
yeah.
I can understand. It's you don't have to apologize. Mm-mm, no, I love you.
Oh, thank you. This
You're
is my first time on here and everything and stuff. So, but under the original law from back in '94 from Indiana, it's like
Yeah.
I was like one of the first people that used that law, and I had to go through a judge and
Mhm.
all that, and it was really messed up. And that's another story. But
Yeah.
And
but
that's why we changed it.
Boom.
you can't even tell me. Mm, yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's how it was for me over here. My name changed. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know I had a different name. It was Ereka. It was spelled differently, but my name changed. I had a new social security number. Um, yeah, sometimes I still use it.
You know, it was so funny because 2 years ago, when I got my birth certificate for the first time, I was thinking it came in a small pack. I was like, here we go again. It's just like, because I went before a judge back in 1994, and everything. And I was thinking, oh my goodness, here we go again. My birth mother filed some kind of clause, but as soon as I opened it up, I was like, oh my goodness, I was so excited.
Yeah.
It was that so it was amazing. I can't even begin to tell you. It's like I had her name for the first time. I never had any kind of name to go on after all these years when I've waited my whole entire life for a knock on the door or a phone call or something. And, and finally, finally,
Finally,
August, finally in August of 2019, I got to hear a voice from my biological family side. And
must have been a lot of closure.
yep. I had prepared myself my whole entire life on what I was gonna say, but I was like, huh. So, but
I'll just fall on the floor, leave it there,
yep,
pick it up later. Yeah,
yep. I was like, but they've been so supportive. I can't begin to tell you like how supportive they've been. And it's so funny because my biological cousin happened to be friends with my adopted friend's mutual friend after all these years and never
yeah,
even knew.
that's awesome. Well, Don, like that, it's cool to be able to. How many of you all have ever reunited with your family and have felt a sense of closure with your biological family and have felt a sense of closure when you did? I have.
I just want to meet them face to face.
Yeah. Well, I think the fact that they want to meet you face to face too. So you're not alone on that thought. Um, anyone else? Thank you, Dawn. You're so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm excited for your reunification to be able to meet them face to face and see someone that looks like you. That's going to be awesome. Yay!
I look just like my birth mother and
Yeah,
my biological sibling.
I do too. I
But
think we all.
I can't put it out there yet on Facebook or anything like that because they want to remain like kind of,
Right.
in their own zone right now until I get to meet them. And then when that happens, then let the floodgates open.
The church say amen. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. But I will say this, get a journal, write down your feelings, your
Yeah.
emotions, write those things down so that when this reunion comes, let's see if you feel the same way. That's what I do. I literally, my phone, I have so many different reminders, and it's like always saying storage full. So let's just go get a piece of paper and write it down. So yeah, write those things down. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, let's check out some of the comments here. Let's see, Anne says, a few more pieces in my puzzle, but I don't think there will ever be real closure. Think
Yeah.
that wound stays open.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys
It does.
want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, it does. I can relate on that aspect, just for the simple fact that I always talk about, I think I had put something on Facebook the other day and talking about how when we hurt ourselves, they give us things to do to prevent from getting hurt again. But when we get hurt again, in order for us to heal, sometimes we have to go back to those things that helped us heal so that we can't hurt anymore. And so it's like you have to constantly nurture that particular area, whether if it's rejection, abandonment, anxiety, depression. Did I say neglect? Yes, neglect. We have to constantly nurture that, you know, because it's something that it's a lifelong thing, you know. It's a lifelong, it's healing, you know. It's true healing. How many of y'all think that it's healing to have to, it heals you a lot. You have to nurture that hurt. Raise your hand. I'm gonna look to see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, you have to heal that hurt constantly. You have to nurture that hurt all the time. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah, Louise says, I don't call it closure, but opening a new book, a new chapter, a new adventure.
Yeah, do you want to elaborate on that? Wherever she is.
Hi.
Hi, Louise.
It's not closure because I'm learning about myself and I'm also learning about my family and just really connecting. So it's not like I'm shutting the door, I'm closing anything. I'm like, it's opening up my whole life, my whole world.
Mm-hmm. It's a constant adventure.
Yes.
It's a closing this chapter to begin another one.
Yes, exactly.
Anyone else? I can't see the actual comments or anything, but I want this to be very interactive. So any questions or concerns or anything that you want to talk about, like we said, it's Black History Month. And so I related that with my own ethnicity, my struggles with my own identity, and not being able to really know who I was because I was a part of a transracial adoption. And so growing up, I considered myself to be African American. But as I got older and I started to dig more into my files, get all my orders to unseal all my records over here in Texas, everything said Hispanic. It said Hispanic. And I was like, wait, I thought I was Black. I thought I was African American. Wait a minute, hold on. And then that was an identity crisis, which, by the way, Marcy, I'm actually going to get my book out and it's going to be called Identity Crisis. And so we'll be in contact. So it's I'm excited, nervous. So I didn't know who I was. So how many of y'all have ever struggled with your identity while being adopted? You can raise your virtual hand. That's a nice ring, Dawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's a lot of us on here. Raise your hand if you are an adoptive parent. You can do a virtual hand. If you are an adoptive parent, raise your hand. 1,
I think we have
2,
one,
3, 4. Yeah. So we have quite a bit of people who are actually adoptive parents, and some of them might be a kinship adoption. Mine was not a kinship adoption. Mine was a court adoption. Mine happened here in Dallas, and I just so happened to come right back to the place where I actually was adopted from. And so, yeah, identity was an issue. Let me see. Did I meet Diego? I think I met Diego. Was he one of our speakers, Marcy? My children were both born in.
No, I wasn't on here, but you and I have connected on Instagram and other social media and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, you're in Seattle, right?
Right.
Yay. What's up, Seattle? Okay. So that is terrible. What happened? So I think, what are some of the things that you all consider to be a positive about adoption? Raise your, what are some things that I want you to put in the chat box? What do you consider to be some positive things about adoption? It's okay to say nothing. It's okay to say nothing. Believe me, most of my trauma had happened when deeper connection. I'm going to actually go through some of these things. So someone says, you also have parents.
Dawn says you have 2 families.
Yeah.
Andrew says high empathy for people in general. Carol says deeper connection when you go through the challenges.
Mhm.
The secrets are gone.
Yep.
That came from Sharon.
Yeah.
Diego says mucho.
Nada mucho. I like that. Nada mucho. See, it's in me. The Latina is in me. Got to meet all of you. Absolutely. Keith connected. Keith is the, okay, so Keith is the one who connected me with the old IAN, the network. And so he's a beast. Keith is awesome. And so thank you, Keith. I agree with Keith. He's also connected with me, connected with Ian, Indiana Adoptee Network. Yeah, absolutely.
I think Keith gets around. No, I'm just kidding. Keith and I have known each other for a long time. We met a long time ago, and
yep, that's when I met in person. Yep.
Yeah, we've known each other a long time.
A long story behind that too. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a long story behind that, and I think Keith gets around and gets people together.
Keith is the connector.
That's right. We're very, very glad for that.
Keith,
Yeah.
the connector.
Yeah.
You should get that copywritten.
Yeah.
Keith, connector.
Keith,
That's right. Carol, did you have a question? You have your hand up. Did you mind?
No, that was up from before. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Just didn't want you to think we were ignoring you.
Hey, Carol, where are you from? What state are you in?
Right now, I'm in California.
Okay.
My kids are in Connecticut, which is where we used to live, and then they were going to move out here, but then COVID happened. So, but they were both born in Texas. One was on Fort Worth, and one was in Waco.
Oh, Texan in. Everybody put in the chat box where you're from. What state you're in. I'm just curious as to know where everyone is from. Let's see.
Where we were born and raised, or where we're living at now?
both. You can put born
Okay.
in one area, and then you can put where you are now. Missouri. Where else? We're all over the nation. Sorry.
And don't forget our Aussie friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's morning over there, down under
where is that?
Australia.
Australia.
Australia. We have some Australia people on the Zoom. So Pennsylvania, an immigrant moved from New York City, NYC. Wow. California,
From
Philly,
Asia.
Philadelphia, Missouri, Sunshine Coast, Queensland, Australia, California, Missouri, Virginia, Nebraska, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Sacramento. Wait, I got to run, but thank you for being here and best of luck with the PhD, Howard. Oh, adopted. Wait, MA is Massachusetts. Is that Massachusetts? Sorry.
Mhm.
Massachusetts, living in Washington, born in Illinois, live in Ohio, from Washington, D.C., let's see, Indiana, South Carolina, New York City, Bangladesh, in Asia, lived in Greensboro. Do you belong to any groups near us? I just moved up here 3 years ago. Lois, where are you?
Sorry, I meant to send that to Sandra. I
Oh.
saw her this today. She's near me, I think.
Okay. No worries. So yeah, we're all over the place. We're national.
Right.
Marcy, I wanted to give honor where honor is due before we finish this. You are such an amazing person.
Oh, please.
And yes. Seriously, if you all appreciate Marcy, just clap your hands, give her a heart, tell her thank you, we love her, just flood her with everything.
I love you guys. You know, Pam and Jennifer and I, we just love being here with you guys on Friday night. It means a lot to us and get you guys connected.
Pam and Jennifer, show them happy claps,
It's not just me.
claps. So this is definitely something that that is definitely needed. And so thank you so much. I see one of my friends over here in Texas. He is, I don't know if he wants me to address him as Pastor Washington, but he is as well associated with the Adoption Connect, Adoption Network, not network, but arena. Hi, I see a lot of other people on here. I see very, 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 very close friend on here. Ian Craig, very close friend. Kate Cobb is connecting. A lot of different of us here, that we come from everywhere. And so did y'all have any other questions for me? Seriously, no question is the wrong question. Anything.
Or comment.
I'm looking for support let's see if I can get back to that question. I am looking for a support group for my 16-year-old adopted daughter. Where are you from, Catherine? Where do you live? DC. If you know anyone in the DC area that can connect her 16-year-old adopted daughter, please send that information and put it into the chat box. There are resources out there. I definitely want to connect her with that as well.
Welcome, Catherine. This is your first time with us tonight, so thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Pam, do we know anybody? I'm just trying to think who we know in the DC area.
No, that's something we're really trying to do is connect, and develop some kind of support group for, kids, because that's where it starts, I mean, we have our children's book, but that doesn't touch everything, right? So we got an email for a 9-year-old here in my town. So it's needed everywhere.
Mhm.
It's so, I mean, think about it. If we started, when they're young, I mean, how much we needed that. That would have been amazing if we would have had something like that.
We've talked about this before. We don't understand why some of the schools haven't gotten involved,
Right.
especially with the teenagers.
Yeah.
But we have talked about getting the teenagers and doing some type of mentorship, even with a conference.
Right.
But that's still in the works, since we're that category's so new with us. But that's something that we've discussed for a while.
Well, Marcy, if you need help on that end, let me know outside of the Zoom call, because I definitely would like to be a part of that, the mentoring as it relates to that particular area. Because if I did, as you said, if I had that type of support when I was an adolescent, some of the things that I went through then, I would not have experienced it, because I had that connection. I felt like I belonged.
Right.
And so if you do need help or anything like that, if y'all are trying to develop something like that, just let me know. I'm on board. The mentorship is a great idea, and we will find somebody for your 16-year-old daughter. Bet that. Okay. Oh, CASE is a good organization for adoption. They are in the DC area. See, that's another avenue. The mentorship is a great idea. There are a huge number of adoptees in the DC area. Absolutely. I know Keith is over there in Maryland. Then Carol says, I also think adoptive parents need to understand the struggle more and get support. I do that work in San Francisco, but so much more is needed. Absolutely agreed. A Zoom user says, do you have clues for your birth father? Nope, absolutely not. Thanks for all of your ideas. Keith put the adoptionsupport.org in there as well. That link is in there, so maybe that might be a good resource for you to use.
We do have a therapist, a whole list. If you go to our napunited.org, which that may then lead to some support. So
you put that in the chat box, just in case somebody wants to. Yeah, that would be. Yeah.
Hi, I'm just saying hi real quick so you know I really exist. I wasn't planning on being live, so I thought it was a listening thing. So, but thank you all for your ideas.
Yeah. No, everybody's supposed to talk. Everybody. You get a car. You can talk.
Wasn't planning. I'm not dressed for the occasion. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
See you again. Take a DNA test. You can find everyone. I actually did do Ancestry DNA, and connected me with my paternal side of the family, but I haven't been successful in that. Yeah. Yep. I see a lot of, let's see who else we have on here. 23andMe, napunited.org, NAAP. Yep. That is the website.
We both typed it.
Because a lot of people don't know we exist. A lot of them don't know we exist. And I think it's really important to put information like that in even though they registered for the event, it's good to have that information there. So, let's see. What else? Marcy, you have any questions for me? There was a video, guys, that I was going to actually show you. I really wish that PowerPoint would have worked.
We can put that on the Happy Hour Facebook page.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't. We can put it up there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Virtual background, disconnect, security, raise hand. Yeah, so what it was when my grandmother, mind you, when I first got in contact with my biological grandmother, it was I think I was like 23. All of the information that I put out when I found out my mom had deceased, they actually my family actually contacted me and said, "Hey, are you the Ereka Howard that is looking for her biological family? You know, if so, I am your uncle. I am biological uncle. You have nieces and nephews." That was when MySpace was pretty big. What else? My grandmother, I just lost my train of thought. That's okay. Oh, I wanted her to meet my adopted family so bad, but it was never the right time. You know, I always would come into issues because I was worried about what my biological family would think. I mean, my adopted family would think. And then long and behold, like the video that I was going to show you guys is when I took my biological grandmother. She is 77 years old. 77? Yeah. She's 77 years old. She is an immigrant from Cuba. And I took her to my hometown in Midland, Texas, where I was raised. And it was around Christmas time. And there was my mom, in the video, I can send it to you, Marcy, and everything. In the video, it showed my grandmother sitting on the couch, and then my biological grandmother sitting on the couch, and my adopted mother sitting on the other couch, well, right beside each other. And my mom had gave her a card and read it out. And I didn't really think that, I don't know, I didn't really think that for her to read that card and say, "We wish you a Merry Christmas, love, Ereka Howard's adopted family." Like, I didn't really think that she knew that I was adopted, because I grew up, my family that adopted me, they showed me so much love, but but they also, my family was really strict, extremely strict. And so some of the things that I went through as an infant, and even more so as an adolescent, it was very, very hard. Very, very hard for me to grow up. So to see her, my adopted mom, read that letter to my grandmother, it was like freeing. It was very freeing for her to read that. And so the video that I was going to show is of them sitting next to each other and my mother reading that card to my immigrant grandmother from Cuba. Mind you, my biological grandmother, she does not understand any English. And so just to see that, and so the video was it was just phenomenal. Like it gave me a lot of closure. I think we were talking about that now. It gave me a lot of closure for her to be able to see that, for me to be able to see that with her. And
yeah, we can put that out on the adoption.
Yeah, it was pretty powerful. Pretty powerful for me to see my grandmother sit next to my mom to say, "Hey, we're her adopted family. Thank you for having her, for giving your daughter birth, your daughter birthing her, her." So it was it was pretty awesome. My grandmother was very nervous when that happened, though. She was very nervous. She didn't really know how to respond to certain things, because there's a lot of guilt associated with the biological family already. Because when you feel like you're giving up a child for adoption, there's all kinds of stuff. "Oh, was it my fault? I gave this child up. I couldn't take care of it." And then it can be very intimidating. I saw a lot of intimidation from my grandmother, biological grandmother, from my mom, from my adopted mom. My grandmother is on food stamps. She's on government assistance now. And I grew up, I'm not saying I had the worst of life, but I'm not also saying that I had the best of life. But I did have my fair share of getting things that I wanted. It could have been totally different if I would have not gotten adopted. So I'm very appreciative of that. it was awesome for me to see that. So yeah, if we can get that video, that would be awesome. Take a look at that and kind of see how that was. My mom is reading a Christmas card to my grandmother, and then my mom says "Tu sabe," which means "Do you understand?" And so, yeah, it's pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, so you can, if you're not already following the Adoption Happy Hour Facebook group, you can check us out, and I believe that is a private group. So we'll let you in, and then you can view that video. We'll put that out later on this evening.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Anything at all?
Quiet tonight.
Why are you quiet?
I know.
Shake up the D.
This
Get
is,
loud. Ah!
who gave you that idea from the calling bottle? Where'd you get that idea?
So I used to work with children, still do. But when I used to work in a mental health facility for at-risk youth, they would always have issues with calming down and like coping skills. And so what we did is basically we got little bitty like salt and shaker bottles, and we just put like glitter and water and then gave them to the kids so that they could actually use. And it worked. And so I just decided to make a life-size one. And if we had a bigger bottle, I'd probably put like a big bottle here and it'd be like really tall, and I'd make one. And it's very easy. So first I'm going to sell this product. And what this product is what you can do is you can get a regular bottle. You can use a Coke bottle, or you can use anything that you would like to calm down with. And you would fill it up with water, of course, to the rim. And then you would get your favorite kind of glitter. Y'all are gonna be like, who is this? She's an adoptee that's been through things in life. And she finds humor in those things. So, but you just get glitter, you put it in a water bottle, and then you seal it right here at the top, and you just shake it. And it just create, you can put anything in there. You can put anything. It's really, really, really easy to make. It's just water, glitter, and a bottle. And maybe a little bit of oil. And then like to seal it, maybe like super glue or something. It's really easy.
Well,
How many people want to calm
yeah.
down? We were gonna,
Is it Mataka? Is that how you say your name? He says that might try to make a bottle like that.
Yeah.
it's
you go.
really easy, guys. Like, hold that thought.
We've lost our co-host.
Is she not a ball of fire or what?
Yes. Oh, and she's back.
With another bottle. So this is another calm down bottle that I just made with like glitter and stuff. And what else?
Just don't put a fish in there.
You could put a fish in there, but then like it would kill
It
them.
would die.
It would die. If I got a hold of it, it would die.
It would die.
It would die. It'd be like, ah. So, but it's really easy. You can get a Coke bottle, take the wrapper off of it, and clean the bottle up, and then put water in it, and then glitter, and then seal the lid, and shake it, and you have a calm down bottle like that. Sorry, I can see it right there. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
But thank you guys.
Well, you're quite welcome. We really enjoyed having you here. You know, I think it's always, you know, we look at different generations of adoptees, and you're one of the first, I think, that we've had on that's been young, and it's to me, I think it's beneficial to look at all different types of generations and not just the older ones, so we can continue to learn from one another.
Right.
So we're glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Now, Ereka, you want to let everybody know how they can contact you on social media, like on Instagram, Facebook,
Snapchat, TikTok.
The whole gamut. However.
So on Facebook, I have a fan page and I have like a personal page. My personal page is Ereka Howard, Ereka Howard. That is my adopted name. Yeah, adopted name. That is my name. I have a Facebook page, Miss Ereka Howard. I have my Instagram is Miss Motivational. I have a Instagram, Facebook page, Miss Ereka Howard _ fan page. What else? I have TikTok, Miss Ereka Howard. Just type in Miss Ereka Howard. You can find me. But make sure to spell my name Ereka.
Yeah, you're all over. I Googled you. You're all over the place.
So yeah, TikTok, I just now started to get like really comfortable with TikTok. And then I'm gonna start doing like a YouTube channel as well. But if you ever want to find me, just type in my name, Ereka Howard, Howard. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. Anything else from anybody out there that would
Oh,
like
and I
to-
have a website. I have a website too.
Yeah, don't forget your website.
Yes. My website is www.misserekahoward.com. And what I do is I go and I speak to different organizations, different companies, mentorships. My website is not current at the moment. However, I am working on revamping a lot of things. It doesn't have my degree, my master's degree yet. So just bear with me, but there is something on the bottom of the page where it says contact me. And just if you want to request me to come and speak for you or your organization or anything like that in the future, feel free to send that, to type in the information, put your name, your first and last name, and then there's a message box. I think it's on my home page to request me to come and speak to you guys or whoever it is that you want me to come and speak. And then that'll shoot it to the admin and then check the calendar and events coordinators and everybody will kind of contact you and kind of see what we can do to help. So that's one other way that you can reach out to me.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. You're awesome. How many of you guys thought I was a really big fireball? You just wait until Marcy has the in-person conference. Get ready, because you have not.
We were talking about that today, weren't we, Pam? About our conference.
Yes, we were.
Everybody's anxious to get together.
Oh man.
Yes.
A lot of calming down is gonna happen.
So
Juggle
you can come and do a calming down workshop.
Yes, I will.
Calming bottle workshop.
Calming bottle workshop. Okay.
Listen, we really do appreciate you. And this, obviously, this evening will be available for replay on our YouTube channel. So if some of the AC peeps missed it tonight, they'll be able to replay this.
Okay. Should I don't know if I can put my first and last name in here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Ooh. A word. Okay. So actually, Laura, you just got that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy that and then send that over to you guys so you can have it. So that's how you spell my name. When I had actually got adopted, it was Erica Mariel Rodriguez, and then it changed. Ooh, Rodriguez. Yes, I used to be a Rodriguez. Rodriguez, I like saying that. But now it's Howard because my name changed after I was adopted. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next week though. I'll be back.
Yes, please be back. Come back. Pam,
Yes.
do you have any closing comments?
Oh, I have tons of things. No, I'm just kidding. No,
And then
I,
I'd like to
Should I
introduce.
get a pen? Hold on, let me get a pen.
Yes.
oh, there she is. She left and then she's back. I think it's so great that, you know, we have different generations and, you know, different thoughts, and because, you know, there's nothing worse than being just stuck in one mode. And, you know, it's refreshing, and, you know, we're ever evolving. And, you know, again, like you said, we've been talking about the conference, and we hope to have some news for you guys in the next week or so of what we're thinking of doing. So yeah, hold tight. We have hopefully some semi good news. Are you holding a dog? Oh my goodness, look how tiny. Oh my, look, Marcy.
Oh, where am I missing?
Right there she is. Oh, is it Chihuahua?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, how
that's
cute.
my favorite dog in the whole world.
Yeah,
Oh
cute.
my goodness. How old is the dog? Is it a he or she?
A month. She is a month. And
I need her right now. But thank you, Ereka, for coming on. You like are just seriously a ray of sunshine and positivity, and like you just were amazing tonight, and we're so glad you came on. So yeah, we love you.
the
Yeah.
end of me. I definitely, this is where I belong. This is not the end.
Yeah, and hopefully you can do a workshop for us coming up, and you know, yeah, we hope to get everybody back together, if not in some hybrid form this year, in full form next year. We really are crossing our fingers with that.
Friendship program that you guys are actually getting ready to.
Yes, yeah, we're really looking forward to do something like that. Yep, for sure. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. So,
Okay.
and then
yeah, I'm sorry, Pam, go ahead.
no, I'm hoping I can get to this. Let me let me do my share screen here and see if I can get into my folder here, and hopefully it'll come up for me. And then next week, let's see if you guys can see this. And my picture is not coming up.
Beautiful picture. I like the pink blazer.
Now let's see if it'll come up. There we go. Can you guys see it? Can you guys see this? Marcy?
I can't see it.
Well, then that is just not working then today. Let me go back in. Let me try and redo it and see if it'll come back up for me. Now, can you see it?
Nope.
Nope.
You guys see it?
No, it's not working. Well, this lovely computer.
Okay. Well, let's do this. There we go.
There we go. Can you see it now?
Takes just a little bit of patience.
Can you see it? You can see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next week, next Friday, we have Dr. Abby Hasbury, and she was on tonight. I don't know if she's still on.
Still with us. Abby,
Okay,
take
good,
yourself off
great.
of mute.
Yeah.
I'm here. I was at a soccer game and now I'm in the car. So
Oh.
I'm here.
Yay. So we're continuing our theme, and we are so thrilled to have Dr. Abby on. So I'm glad you're still with us. And yeah, so you guys join us next Friday, you know, same time, same bat channel, you know. But yeah, we're excited to have you on. And so everybody join us again. Make sure you get your tickets and join us here next Friday at 7 o'clock.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Everybody have a good weekend.
Yeah, everybody have a great weekend.
And here we go.
I don't know what I don't know what my computer was doing. The picture was like having trouble anyway. So,
But you did it.
I did it. I actually
Okay.
heard it from another place. So,
Okay. Well,
well,
And
So something about when we let them in,
stop the recording.
let's stop it. Did you stop?